I'm laughing because I was already laying in bed, getting ready to go to sleep for the night. I had given up on the idea of having a video for you guys done today. And so long as I post it before midnight Eastern Standard Time, I do have a video for you guys today. But more importantly, so long as I wait 12 hours before I make it live, I can post it at any time tomorrow after 1 p.m. So, what got me out of bed and in front of my computer for this video, you might ask? Well, here's the thing. I am so proud of the younger generations. For one thing, I may have a lot of differences with how they deal with things or how they not visualize, but interpret things and whatnot. But one thing I will say I'm very proud about this younger generations is how they are willing to not put up with crap regardless of salary. But more importantly, they don't want to work for peanuts unless it's something that they're really passionate about. And so when I was growing up, I was raised under the idea that the more education and the more money you made, the better of a person you were. And I realized that is long since been debunked. But you have to remember, I'm a Generation X baby. And at 56, it's kind of hard to learn new tricks. I will say this, if I ever get the chance to interview again, because I'm not even getting to the interview, let alone the job offer. But if I was ever in a job interview, I would not put up with the gunk that normally these people put up with. Because for one thing, and this is my message to corporations, stop using companies like Talio, whatever the name is, to do your screening for you, because they don't screen crap. People have long figured out how to make it through that process that you have just put on the internet for everyone to see. And then when you hire them, people like me who actually know what they're doing end up having to spend double the time training these people that don't want to work for you in the first place. So, having said that, now that I got that off my chest, there is a Twitter account that I follow called FUI Quit. And the reason why I got out of bed was because I saw something to the effect of, if your dog died, if your excuse for missing work is your dog died, you have to bring the dog in, or something to that effect. I'm going to read the whole thing in a minute. But I saw that and I just had to look it up. And so first I'm going to read you what happened. And then I'm going to tell you what I think. So like I said before, FUI Quit is a webpage, not a webpage, but it's a page on Twitter and on Instagram. And what they basically do is they go ahead and show from all over the internet. They show different situations that happen as far as employees are concerned or bad management. They also go into when government does something stupid. And what I like the most about this is that they're equal opportunity offenders, meaning they are willing to bash Biden and to bash the Republicans to the effect of, if it's something that has to do with employee relations, they have absolutely no problem calling both sides out. And that to me is really important, because we're living in situations right now where people are so hell-bent on giving their particular political party of choice the right, that they're willing to excuse any and all bad behaviors. And so to see a page where they don't care if you're on the left or on the right, they're going to call you out when you do something wrong, and they're going to praise you when you do something right, is really nice to see. Because at the end of the day, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, or if you're in another country, whatever party you belong to. There are times when both sides, or any sides, however many sides you have in your country, are right, and there are many, many more times when they are wrong. So let's see. The actual quote, and keep in mind that I'm reading this from my phone and it's the middle of the night, so I'm a little off, says something to the effect of, "Bring your dead dog in to prove he died," is the tip of this rant's iceberg. Let's center ourselves. Let's take all the judgment out of our brains for a second and let's read this together, shall we? Attention all team members. Our call-offs are occurring at a staggering rate. From now on, if you call off, you might as well go out and look for another job. We are no longer tolerating any excuse for calling off. If you're sick, you need to come prove it to us. I do believe that breaks HIPAA law, but okay. Not gonna interrupt anymore until the end. I just remember I set that rule. Okay. If your dog died, you need to bring him in and prove it to us. If it's a family emergency, quote unquote, and you can't say, too bad, go work somewhere else. If you only want morning shifts, too bad, go work at a bank. If anyone from here on out calls out more than once in the next 30 days, you will not have a job. Do you know in my 11.5 years at Darden how many days I called off? 0. I came in sick. I got in a wreck literally on my way to work one time. Airbags went off and my car was totaled, but you know what? I made it to work on time. There are no more excuses. Us, collectively as a management team, have had enough. If you don't want to work here, don't. It's as simple as that. If you're here and want to work, then work. No more complaining about not being cut or not being able to leave early. You're in the restaurant business. Do you think I want to be here until midnight on Friday and Saturday? No. I'd much rather be at home with my husband and dog, going to the movies or seeing family. But I don't. I'm dedicated to being here. As should you. No more excuses or complaints. I hope you choose to continue to work here and think we, management, make it as easy as we can on y'all. Thank you for your time, and thank you to those who come in every day on time and work hard. I wish there were more like you. After this, FUI Quit said, the chain confirmed this is from a now former manager at an Olive Garden in Kansas. These power-tripping people are unreal. Who doesn't think twice before hitting send on something like this? Fortunately, Olive Garden fired this manager over this message shortly hereafter. My Twitter account is still on that big old accounts we want to suspend list, so come on over and join me on IG in case this account gets nerfed. And I also posted the screenshot. If I have a chance, I'm going to post the link below. I just have really bad luck with links. So I basically have to post the entire video, go to my iPhone, get the link from the iPhone, and then post it here. So if I forget, just send me a message or leave me a comment so I'll remember, so I can leave you both the link to Twitter and their link on Instagram. So let's go back to the message because there's so much to unpack here. First of all, right off the bat without reading it again, what you experience in your life, regardless of what it is, if it's a car accident, a sickness, a dead relative, whatever it is, has no impact on my life at all. And the reason why I say that is because I'm a little tired, and you will see it on some of the content coming up, especially next year, that people keep comparing their diseases to other people's diseases. Or it's like a race to see who has the worst ailment. I'm sorry, my ailment, the one I have, drives me insane. There are days that I wonder if I can survive the rest of my life with this pain. But you know what? I'm very much aware that there are people that have the exact same diagnosis, but don't have the same effects that I do, which is the same for everything. If I have a car crash, I might be able, well, actually, I've done it. I can go back to work like nothing happened. There are going to be times when I might have a car crash. Well, I've only had 2. The first time I did go back to work because I was so nervous that I felt better if I went to work. The second time they sent me to the doctors because I heard my neck go crack. Lucky for me, nothing happened, but I was in pain for a few days. It was just bruised. But that doesn't mean that another person that has the exact same accident you do is going to be able to react the same way you do. So on that alone, this message is like bonkers to me. Now, let's go from the beginning. Our call-offs are occurring at a staggering rate. I have news for you. Every freaking company that I know has a lot of issues with people calling off. It's a normal thing, especially around this time of the year. I don't know when this was done, but if it was around this time of the year, yeah, you're going to get a lot of call-offs for many reasons. I mean, everything from you have a family member coming to visit, so you want your house to look pretty, to having to go and pick up that person at the airport because your plans fell through, to getting sick because, of course, we have decided that we don't need to wear masks anymore. There's three things going on at the same time: respiratory, the virus, I think it's called, the flu, and the Rona. And for some reason, people want everybody to be on mask, and they don't care if you put your shots or not. It's insane that we learn nothing about distancing people when they get sick, especially around flu season. If you want to see your entire office call off, have an event at your office and have all these people without shots, without anything, talking to each other. It happens a lot, and for some reason people think it's okay to go to work sick. The other reason why I have a problem with that particular thing is because I just said it literally. Why did we not learn anything from this situation that we just had for the last 2 years, where if somebody comes to work sick, send them home. You don't have to know why they're sick. Send them home. Let them get the day off because of medical. Okay. And another thing, since we're on that topic, why do we only get 3 days a year? I mean, I know some companies just have PTO and you can use it for vacation or sick days. But when you are making millions of dollars as the CEO of a company, why not take 1 million of that money and put it on the fund so that people, if they want to get sick more than 10 times a year, can do so? I'm just saying. Because let's be real here. If you get the flu, you're probably going to be gone for 5 days. So now, if your PTO, your total PTO is 10 days, which is what I hear is the most common one, what? So you mean to tell me that if I have 10 days in a year and I get the flu, that means I only have 5 days for vacation? No, you don't give a damn about me. Let's be real. So it goes to, from now on, if you call off, you might as well go out and look for another job. What makes you think that the reason why the person called off is not because they're on a job interview? Because it happens more often than you think, especially when you talk to them like this. We are no longer tolerating any excuse for calling off. That's not your call. Literally, by law, that's not your call. Depending on what state you're in, you can get in trouble just for that statement. If you're sick, you need to come prove it to us. It's HIPAA law. They don't have to prove crap. Now, do I know that there's some states like the one I'm in where people take advantage of the right to work state to claim that that means that in order for you to not show up for work, you have to have a doctor's excuse, that it's pretty much what you need for, what do you call this thing? The emergency leave for people when they get sick. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, no. If your dog died, you need to bring him in and prove it to us. Let me tell you something. My dog died. You all know this because you all saw what happened pretty much after the dog died. If my dog dies, I'm not coming to work, and you're going to have to deal with it. And you can shut up about me bringing him to work. If you have a family emergency and you can't say what the family emergency is, it's none of your business. I'm sorry, but it's none of your business. Go work somewhere else. Not a bad idea considering how you treat people. If you only want morning shifts, too bad. Go work at a bank. I don't know what... I guess in Kansas, people don't have extra hours, but pretty much every bank around me works until 5 and then until at least noon on Saturdays. So I don't know what this person is talking about. If anyone from here on out calls out more than once in the next 30 days, you will not have a job. I'm not even going to comment on that one. Do you know if and then they go into the whole explanation about the 11 and a half years. Now, for those of you who don't know, Darden is the parent company of several restaurant chains. Obviously, they did tell you one of them, which is the Olive Garden. I'm looking for the actual list. It's Olive Garden, Longhorn Steakhouse, Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen. They killed Cheddar's. The day they bought Cheddar's, they ruined it, by the way. Yard House, The Capitol Grill, Season 52. Season 52 is the only one that I think is still pretty good. Bahama Breeze, and Eddie V's. I thought, for some reason, I always thought that they were the owners of Denny's, but I guess they're not. Anyway, they own all those chains. So they are supposed to know what they're doing when it comes to restaurant services. It is a well-known fact that a person that survives working at a restaurant can work anywhere. That's how bad they treat you. So for this person to be so, I don't know, horrible to their employees, oof. Okay, so there are no more excuses. Us collectively as a management team have had enough. If you don't want to work here, don't. It's as simple as that. If you're here and want to work, then work. No more complaining about not being cut or not being able to leave early. Let me tell you something. The last job I had a policy that if the workload, because I don't want to say exactly what it was, but if the workload was less than 20%, you could go ahead and make an estimate of how many people you could let go and just let them go. And unfortunately for me, my department, which was the Spanish department, the manager at the time decided that he was not going to let people go early anymore. Which, by the way, was ridiculous because there were entire days. And in fact, I can't tell you how many books I was able to read because even though we were not supposed to have anything in our desk that was not related to our job, we all had books because after 8 p.m., no, I'm lying. After 6 p.m., you could have a hard time finding a manager staying there, especially on a Friday or a Saturday. On Saturdays, there was only 2 managers in the entire floor. And they weren't paying attention to what you were reading. And I can't tell you how many times we were just sitting there joking with each other. And it got to the point where I started bringing books and I would finish an entire novel sitting there waiting because there was nobody to take care of. So yeah, we had a right to complain. Let me see what else. You're in the restaurant business. Do you think I want to be here until midnight on Friday and Saturday? No, I would rather, here's the thing. Nobody cares what you would do in the same circumstances, okay? This is not my, it never ceases to amaze me how managers don't want to have any empathy whatsoever, but they expect the employees to have empathy for them. I'm sorry, no. You're a horrible human being. You deserve what you get. If you want to sacrifice your life, and by the way, ask this person how much they made as a manager compared to how much people here in the United States get paid for restaurant service. For those of you who don't know and don't live in the United States, people who work restaurants usually make $2-3 per hour because the excuse is that the tips are going to make the difference and are going to make them go to minimum wage. And this is allowed by the government, by the way. So you mean to tell me that somebody's working for $3 an hour, and if they're lucky, they make up to $10 an hour with tips, maybe on a good day, are going to have empathy for you who are making $60, $80, $100,000 a year plus perks, because we all know about your perks. But you can't sacrifice yourself to work a Friday or a Saturday, or you're supposed to make us feel guilty about you working a Friday or a Saturday when these people are working for peanuts and being treated like garbage. No, ma'am. That's not happening. I mean, I don't know if this is a ma'am or dude, but I'm just saying, no way. 2 things about the last paragraph. First of all, I don't see how you, with that attitude, make it easy for people to work for you, like you say in the first sentence. Second of all, you thank the what you call good employees on the last possible sentence of this entire novella. Explain to me why somebody that's actually doing exactly what you want them to do because they don't want to lose their job probably is supposed to be okay with the idea of reading this entire thing and you thanking them at the end. Instead of starting with the good things, so you start in a good note, cut half of what you just said, because you really don't need to have all that stuff, and then go ahead and finish it with, we really need to cut down the early outs or the calling out or whatever you want to do. But this whole idea that you did a good job and you're trying to do the best for your employees, nobody believes that except for maybe you. I'm just saying. You're a horrible boss. That's all I have to say about this. And that is the thing. This is why I said that I was very proud of the younger generations in this respect. Because I can tell you, I can't even count how many times I worked for somebody. And no, not gonna lie, eventually I ended up quitting. But it took a while for me to quit jobs because I didn't want to give up the opportunity to make it work. And the truth of it is that there are many managers who get that title and for some reason think that they run the company, or that they are the only ones that understand the rules of the company. And what they actually do is they ruin the experience for the rest of us. I used to work at a particular retail store, which I'm not going to name, but before I worked in that retail store, that was my favorite retail store in the planet. I couldn't wait to go to it. And the people that worked in every single one of the ones I went until I came to Florida were amazing employees. So, of course, I loved it even more. Then I got a job with them. And one thing I can tell you is part of the reason why they're disappearing slowly but surely is because some people, especially in Florida, don't know what they have. They really don't. And they ruin it for the rest of us. So, if you have a bad experience with a company that you want to share, I'll be more than happy to read it. And otherwise, apart from your opinions, any message you want to leave me, good, bad, or indifferent, go ahead. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.